Berlin is undoubtedly one of Europe's most captivating capitals with its famous nightlife, turbulent past, and laid-back cosmopolitan vibe. Berlin has undergone an astonishing transition since the fall of the infamous and controversial Berlin Wall and the city's rebirth in 1989. It's easy to understand why so many people not only travel to the German capital, but also come to live in this city in large numbers. The main factors for Berlin's rise include a great sense of physical space due to a combination of large-scale urban planning and a relatively low population of just 3.6 million people, a cutting-edge cultural scene, and the emergence of a lively startup culture. The Brandenburg Gate is Berlin's most iconic landmark. Napoleon ordered the artwork to be dismantled and transported to Paris in 1806 during the French occupation. It was designated a symbol of victory after his triumphant return in 1814, and the goddess was awarded an iron cross with a laurel wreath as well as a staff with the Prussian eagle. The Reichstag was built in 1894 to serve as the seat of the German parliament. The main hall was damaged by a fire in February 1933, and subsequent reconstruction was delayed for decades due to the impending World War II. The Reichstag served as the first meeting place for the newly elected Bundestag following the unification of Germany in 1990. Berlin's courage and grit are embodied in the East Side Gallery. It represents resilience, inventiveness, and hope for Berliners and the world. The section of the wall that currently houses the gallery was once a border crossing into East Germany that was open exclusively to West German citizens during the Cold War. Most of the Berlin Wall was torn down in the wake of the peaceful revolution in 1989, except for this part. Berlin's history began on the long island hidden in the tributaries of the Spree River. At the beginning of the 13th century, this is where the first settlements emerged. The building of the Brandenburg Electoral Palace, which functioned as a residence from 1470, changed the island's personality. The Berlin Cathedral and the incredible array of museums that give the island its name, Museumsinsel, can be found on the north side of the island, even though it was completely demolished in 1950. With an astonishing 87 meters high portico supported by 18 Ionic columns, this building is one of the most spectacular neoclassical constructions in the world. The museum, which was built specifically to house the Royal Collection of Art and Antiquities, was officially opened in 1830. After World War II, the structure was used solely for temporary exhibitions. The Antikensammlung, a magnificent collection of Greek, Roman, and Etruscan artifacts, is now housed there. Between 1841 and 1855, the Neues Museum housed a collection of antiquities, mostly ancient Egyptian art, until World War II. After being damaged in 1945, the museum was closed. It was rebuilt and reopened in 2009, once again housing the Egyptian Museum and the Museum of Prehistory and Ancient History. The National Gallery was built between 1866 and 1876 to accommodate the collection of modern art. After World War II, the collection was divided into numerous parts, with part of it being displayed in West Berlin. The modern art collections were brought together again once Germany was reunified. In 1904, the fourth museum building was built on Museumsinsel. The museum included a somewhat eclectic collection and today houses a collection of over 50,000 coins, medals, and works of Byzantine art. The Pergamonmuseum is named after the famous Pergamon altar, which takes pride of place in the main hall and houses one of Europe's best-known collections of antiquities. German expeditions to the Near and Middle East conducted extensive archaeological excavations that led to the creation of its collections. A portion of the museum's treasures are on display in the South Wing, while most of the items from the Museum of Antiquities are housed in the Alts Museum. The former Hohenzollern family crypt, one of the largest of its kind in Europe, was a prominent part of Berlin Cathedral when it was built in 1750. The cathedral was severely damaged during World War II and has since undergone a simplified restoration. Construction began in 1695 and Sophie Charlotte, the wife of Friedrich III, was supposed to use the palace in Charlottenburg as a holiday residence. After World War II, the palace, which had been badly damaged, was restored to its former beauty and the ornate interiors are unmatched in Berlin. American architect Peter Eisenman created the National Holocaust Memorial in Germany. It was completed in 2005 and consists of a sizable area covered in tall, dark gray blocks representing the 6 million Jews and others who were murdered by the Nazis in concentration camps during World War II. The most sinister address in Berlin during the Third Reich was Prince Albrechtstrasse, which housed 3 of the most terrible Nazi political departments: the secret agency of the Third Reich, the Gestapo, and the headquarters of the SS. The building, now converted into a museum, presents the permanent exhibition Topographie of Terror. This open-air memorial includes an original part of the Berlin Wall, remains of the border fortifications and escape tunnels, a chapel and a memorial. The physical features of the border fortifications and how they affected the daily lives of people on both sides of the border are described in detail with multimedia stations, excavation panels, and a documentation center. This column was made in honor of the Prussian-Danish War of 1864. Prussia's further triumphs in the wars with Austria and France led to the addition of the gold Elsa, a golden figure of victory, to the top. The TV tower, often referred to as telespargel or toothpick by locals, remains the tallest building in the city at 368 meters, as well as being the second tallest building in Europe. With the help of Swedish experts, a group of architects headed by Fritz Dieter and Gunther Frank designed the skyscraper, which was erected in 1969. The German and French churches stand on either side of this elegant square, and the Konzerthaus marks its center. It was named after the Gens d'Armes, a Prussian regiment formed by exiled French Huguenots in the 18th century. The area, which is dotted with opulent hotels, restaurants, and pubs, represents the most prosperous Berlin. A contemporary financial and business area grew rapidly on the vast, desolate wasteland surrounding Postdamer Platz within just a few years. Berlin is a sizable multinational metropolis, but it still retains the down-to-earth appeal of a small community. Locals and foreigners alike adhere to the motto "live and let live" and place more value on one's own independence and way of life than material possessions and status symbols. Cafes are always packed, drinking is considered a religious practice, and clubs stay open through the weekend and into the following Monday. All those visitors eager to explore Berlin's dynamic culture, cutting-edge architecture, delicious food, intense parties, and tangible history are sure to be mesmerized by its combination of sparkle and grit.